Hey there, guys. Hope you're all doing well. To start off with some housekeeping, remember that I want you guys to be thinking about your projects. I'm not setting this as a hard and fast deadline, but I would like you to let me know what you're thinking about before the 8th week of class. If you don't, I won't penalize you or anything, crazy like that. But if you don't, I will be scheduling a conference with you to help you move your project along. I do not want you guys procrastinating and waiting for the last week and then hoping you can just cobble something together. Please don't put me through that. Now, if you change your mind at some point after you've already given me your topic or you want to change your project some, that's fine too. But I just want to make sure you guys are working on it. Okay? So let's get to our poets for the week. You may have noticed that I kind of had a theme for this week. All the poets we read were from some turbulent part in American history. Let's start with Tate. Tate's only got one poem in the anthology, but I personally think it's a powerful one. Now, Tate didn't live in the time of the American Civil War, but his poem here is about the Confederate dead. Let's go back to the Cambridge book by Christopher Beach, our old friend right here. Here's what he says about Tate. Tate's poem represented his own quest for the past, as he put in a 1928 letter. It was a quest not only to recover the cultural past of the South, but also the history of his family, which had been scattered to the four winds after the Civil War. Scattered to the four winds is a quote from Tate, not from Beach. Tate is trying in the Confederate poem to find out about the historical past and his family's past. Beach goes on to say that the poem shows us how the South has changed since the Civil War. I want you to think about, before coming to class, what else the poem tells you about the era that he's writing about. Next up, we're going to talk about the Angel Island poets. I'm not going to go too deep into the background here, since it is a hugely complicated subject. But if you want to know more, the book where I researched this mainly is called Angel Island, Immigrant Gateway to America by Erica Lee and Judy Young. Young is spelled Y-U-N-G. The basic background goes like this. From 1910 to 1940, over 178,000 Chinese men and women were admitted into the country as new immigrants, returning residents, and U.S. citizens. The majority came through San Francisco and Angel Island, and approximately 100,000 Chinese were detained there. The immigration station was inextricably tied to the hundred kinds of oppressive laws that discriminated against Chinese immigrants. Thus, from the time that immigration officials boarded an arriving steamship to the time when an immigrant or returning resident was finally landed or officially admitted into the country, Chinese were subject to longer examinations, interrogations, and detentions than other immigrants. Because of extreme racism against the Chinese immigrants that came through Angel Island, they were treated significantly worse than other immigrants that came through the station. Excuse me. This section and the Japanese American haiku poets, which I'm going to get to next, are written by a lot of different writers. They're not written by just one person. Think about, after you read them, their lives and their experiences and what they went through at the immigration station. Let's end with the Japanese American concentration camp poets. If you want more information on this section, the book I researched this is called The Case of Japanese Americans During World War II, suppression of civil liberty, edited by, I am going to try my best to say these names correctly, or this name, excuse me, Minoru, Minoru, Kiyota, Kiyota, and Ronald S. Green. According to Kiyota and Green, the evacuation of the Japanese to concentration camps started as a reaction to the attack on Pearl Harbor. The motivation for the evacuation of the Japanese, according to the anthology, and similar to the detainment of the Chinese at Angel Island, was racism. Just like with the Angel Island poets, I want you to read, sorry guys, the Japanese American concentration camp poems carefully and use their poems and kind of really think about what they went through. Alright, that's it for our poets. One last thing, I'll say it again. Keep working on your papers, guys. I want to see some good ideas soon. Alright, talk to you later.